It's my favorite final. Not my favorite trophy, but my favorite final.
Yeah, I really believe that if that didn't happen, we were not sitting now here.
You have to read his book, which is a challenge in itself, but then you will know it. Kill them now!
But don't take responsibility on that.
This is goodbye then. I love absolutely everything about this club. It's difficult to say farewell, but let's remember the good times. I will, forever. Little side story. This trophy I cracked during the celebrations. The things I had it like that, and oh, and I gave it to somebody else. I don't think I ever told that to anybody, but that's now I see it and think, yeah, that was me.
There's one missing there.
Sorry. Yeah, you have to win it to break it. That's.
I think above all, the trophy is one thing, but what we gave to the fans in terms of an identity of the team and how they could identify themselves with the way we play, I think that's something even bigger than the trophies we won. You could give us different shirts and they would say it's a Liverpool team, I think, or a Jürgen Klopp team, or however you want to call it. But it was that we were part of this, that was emotional. Yeah, strange that it comes to an end now, but I think we all look forward to the future as well. But you can only look forward because it was so beautiful as well. Yeah.
I think we packed a lot in the few years. We had sort of some good celebrations and some great memories. So I think those bits when you look back when you're older, I think Jürgen always talks about when we're grandparents and talking to our grandkids about the memories we have. I think a lot of those will certainly stay with us for a very long time.
Yeah, I think the quality of Jürgen is that we all could be just ourselves. No, there was no masks or no authenticity. How do you say it in English? Yeah.
I don't use that word because I don't know how to say it.
No, that's
identity.
Is it not like that?
Yeah, it is.
Being authentic, so everybody can just be himself. No.
These pictures, that's exactly how you feel in a moment like that. That's just, this is absolutely everything. You never know how it will be. Maybe final whistle is, especially with the Champions League final, is rather relief than real joy. But that comes up then step by step. Everybody told us, how can you not play? What was it? Which cup?
The League Cup. I think. Yeah.
How it always is that nobody's interested. You arrive there, and all of a sudden you feel, hey, that's a massive competition. So we grew into that. We really wanted to win it, and it was really, really, really special that as well. Like the Super Cup, Adrian is the hero of that game. So these are the moments where everything, the whole pressure is gone. Everything is like, that's really, these are.
But it goes quickly, no? Because we travel back and we need to win against Leicester. For example, this one.
Yeah, but in that moment.
That moment was but the day after you're like.
You drive off in the bus and then, it's the next game, and somebody comes and tells you, by the way, he has a little problem here, he has a problem. Yeah. Oh my God. We are friends now, but we work together because of the skill set of all the individuals. Families know each other. We are really all different, and everybody brings in something else. And but in the end, we are all football lovers, and we do it. And Liverpool lovers definitely, and that means we are really. I think that's what we have to do, but we did it as well. We dedicated ourselves completely to as a group. When we go in the dressing room after something like that, this is the best moment. These are the best moments of our working life. Because you sit there, you look in the eyes of the others, and you think, oh my God, we did it. It's incredible. We really did it. So these moments are irreplaceable.
Maybe for the families is not so good as well. So, and that's, I think we should give a big compliment to them as well, because everything that we achieved here, they are completely part of it. So I was living one of the best moments of my life, and my wife was taking care of the 2 kids that I have at home. So, and me is just an example. All of us have family, so a lot of good stories, particularly from one person.
He's not funny on purpose. It just happens. That's the actual reason why we leave. The Johnny book is finished.
But don't take responsibility on that, John.
Any moments, or that we could share, or funny moments of John's?
No.
Just watch him running. This is enough.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, that's true. She said, and that's really important, he doesn't have pain. I never saw somebody running like that, and how can you not have pain?
One time John and me, we run together in Melwood, and he runs on the one side of the street, and then I start walking on the other side, but I went quicker walking than he was running, so I said, John, are you?
The other time I let you run away, and then he was walking. He pulled his car because he thought he wanted to be quicker than me, and I had to get the car to get him.
It's probably only alive that still because we helped him. Because when he's the first in the training ground always, and before we arrived, he had already 2 cans of nobody knows what's in there. And it's like,
Half a liter, yeah.
half a liter
Yeah.
every morning. So I go, John, you can't do that.
I had to go running with Pep. So.
So I think we started here with 4-2-3-1, if I'm right.
Yeah, 4-4-1-1, and then
The
at
reason
one
is
point.
where we didn't have a single 6. So obviously when then Sadio came, it was clear now we have a real winger, and we have with Phil another player who can play the left wing in his way, not like a winger, like a wider 10 if you want. And you had a 10 with Bobby, and then you have plenty of strikers, or Bobby can play there as well. So that was how you try to build. But then when Mo came, then it was clear that we want to play the 4-3-3 with Bobby in his position. And what we created over the years was actually a few new positions. We created the most offensive fullbacks, I think. We had the players for it. It's not that we made the players, but the players were there, and we let them fly on the wing, let me say like that. And we had 2 who created, maybe not alone, but this winger striker thing with Sadio and Mo. The false 9 with Bobby he invented it actually, but it's while we were around. But I remember then you play in a football world, it's like that then people tell you, but we don't score enough goals from midfield. Yeah, somebody has to clean up the mess more. So it's like, Hendo doesn't score enough, Gini doesn't score enough, or whatever. All of a sudden they didn't score enough, but we had enough goals, obviously. So it's not always that easy, but it's you have an idea, but it massively depends on what kind of skill set your players have. There's no other chance.
Even the pressing, because Bobby could control really good the center defensively. So you could go really with Mo and Sadio from the outside, for example. And Mo and Sadio were really good if you win the ball to have this counter-attacking threat, because they were already, and then Gini, Fabio, Hendo were really good behind them, because we got outplayed with them as well, to fill up the outsides because of the characteristics of them. So even the pressing was based on the characteristics of the players. One, by us, but second, because of them, because they give the dynamics, they create this kind of.
When you look back and see old games with these 3 up front, and you see the desire, more Sadio and Bobby defend all 3. Bobby with the steering wheel in his hands, just without knowing it, just closing all the right gaps, but the other 2 guys were chasing everybody.
Yeah. That team stayed for a long time together. People always don't get. When you bring players for a long time together with one idea, with one coach, and they have potential, they are in a certain age where they are still developing, but they are also in the age where they become more consistent, the age 26, 27, 28, like that, and they stay for a long time together with some talents, or Gaffer say Trent and whatever. But then things grow, no? Because stability, they get. We didn't play always top games, but we always found a way to win them.
Maybe it's just because it's not so long ago, but I think the best game we played in a full package I mean, Barcelona is the most spectacular game result-wise, but basically, I would say City at home here, the draw. I never saw us dominating City in the way we dominated them on that day.
With 4 players from the academy.
Yeah.
And we won against them, but there it was like with the back to the wall and defended and then counter-attacking and great games, home games, blah, 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 super goals, 40 passes, whatever, before we score, wonderful goals, diagonal balls, all this was all there. But for such a long period in the game, being really dominant against them, that was this year.
Everything is sad about that game. No? The only thing I remember is that we were standing in the morning or the day before on the pitch, and we were discussing Divock. No, like, but what? And the guy said, "I cannot speak with him. What am I going to say?"
Divock.
So we need 3 points, just 3 points to give him to help him, like to. But we make it now too big already, no. But yeah, it was brilliant.
We prepare a game like it's like you prepare a mount. We watch them from all angles, plenty of times, blah, 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 especially like in a game like that. And now you want to just give the right information in a really short period of time. And then we were really discussing, come on, what do we tell Div, what he has to do? And from what point on do we let him just fly?
Yeah, that was the most
So that was it. So because you give tactical instructions, that's really important. But if you give too many, the player doesn't have an iPad on the pitch and think, oh, he said that as well. Oh, I forgot that. It must be on point. So that's coaching. And we really discussed it exactly that morning. It was like,
Yeah, but it was cool because Barcelona, the year before, they lost in Rome after winning the first round. And then Edin Dzeko was a good role model for Divock that day because he scored the first one. Not sure the last goal as well, so we just told him, here, listen, this is what happened, this is what he did, try this again, and would be helpful to score a goal pretty early in the game. And
yeah, I really believe that if that didn't happen, we were not sitting now here. That was such a massive one, I think, reaching the final.
But you don't feel that you feel it's massive, but not what it means for the future, obviously.
No. I mean, it was such winning the Champions League at that moment with that team, that the team got after the year before losing it, and
I mean, we had these kind of stories the whole way here. Losing the Champions League final next year, not becoming champion in '97, but qualifying for the final again, going there, winning that, and becoming champion after not becoming champion the year before with the Vinny Kompany goal. I think, yeah, that was that year. That can knock you down. It's possible.
I think that's the only time I threw something at the television.
I was lying like this on the sofa, like this, and my hand in a pocket, but like.
I threw. I remember.
it only works together. No. Each single person is nothing, no chance. Manager alone without a team in his back.
Oh yeah.
Maybe the gaffer. Maybe the gaffer.
A team without a boss is as well. So everybody would do.
Not as, but it
Doesn't work. So yeah, it's for me. Really, I say that every time, but it is. This is why I like football so much. For me, is football the game of life, if you want. So helps me always if I try to find solutions, even in my personal life. Then I always, or very often, find a solution as well in transforming into a coach and think, how would you do it if you are on the football pitch? So this is what makes this game for me so interesting.
The interesting part is really that if you watch other people winning something, it must mean everything to them, and then you do that, and in that moment, outstanding, fantastic. But next day you look in the mirror and there's the same guy a day older. So it's just nothing. Nothing happened. It's really not. We have a WhatsApp group that changed. We had to include in the WhatsApp group. What is that?
The prizes we won.
All the prizes we
name of
won
the
is the name of the group, so we had to
There's no
extend the name.
space.
Time to time. Yeah.
When you try to help and to build something together, when you win a trophy, of course, is like the pinnacle of all the situations. So if you can share that with all the staff, all the players and all the families in the end, there's nothing better than that.
I think if you look at all of us as well, I think we've all got we're not a typical sort of coaching team. We've all got really different stories in how we sort of come to this point. And I think Jürgen's brought us all here and given us that opportunity. So we all feel like we had to take the opportunity when it was there. So we gave everything. And I think that's been a really special part of why it's different as well for us, because we know we've sort of had to fight to get to this point. So we had to sort of make sure that when we did get here, we gave it everything.
And especially with Jack, you couldn't expect that when he arrived here, because we were all sitting in the coaching room, in the coach's room, and Jack came in for his, how do you call that, when he went to first talk, and he wore a suit.
English style.
I mean, he's a goalkeeper. They do strange things, but we were used to other goalkeepers, obviously, and he shows up in a suit.
First question, can you really shoot left and right?
Oh, yeah, on his
or you
video.
just turned it around? Like, you cannot shoot like that.
And he was like the perfect footballer. So why is he not playing? He can shoot with the left, he can shoot with the right, he's incredible. And then this guy looks like he wants to sell insurances.
I wasn't going to send a bad video, you know.
A really good video. You don't fit in that suit still?
Not quite in that suit anymore, though. Yeah.
Jack loves food. He loves food.
But if you look at us here, where we are coming from, and nobody played top level. So Jack played together with Millie in the U what?
16.
And then he stopped growing.
Oh no, that was U12. I stopped growing.
Great goalkeeper future there, but then that's just how it can be. And so Pep finished his footballing career with 17?
17.
Because of knee injury, got direct into coaching. Vitor
Finished when he started.
finished the day after he started his footballing career. 36 now and worked already in China. I mean, that's just to work in the business. That's the business where we are in, where so many people want to be where we are. So my story is probably everybody knows where I tried to play football. Pete was Jürgen Klopp of the Verbandsliga. The Verbandsliga is 7th league, right around the what is it? Sorry?
5th or 6th.
In his mind. So it was like amateur football. So great throw in, great header, and
Winning.
and a winner.
And winning.
Okay, good. The only one who had a decent career is Johnny, actually. Johnny, I'm not too. You probably have to read his book, which is a challenge in itself. But then you will know it. But then he started playing for Utrecht and was a mailman.
Yes.
Yes, same time. So trained all the time as a goalkeeper, stuff like this, and then making all the step, and in the end you win the league and the Champions League and the Club World Cup and the Super Cup and the FA Cup and League Cup with Liverpool. This, we know how lucky we are. We are, that sounds always, because we are always on television, especially me, always on television. People think, oh, that's different level of what? No. We have exactly the same enjoyment about these kind of things. The only problem is we cannot drink for 4 days after we win something, because usually we have another game like after that. If we would have drunk for 4 days, we would have still been asleep at Leicester. So, which was one of the best football games we ever played, by the way, absolutely incredible. And we understand it that way. It's super, super, super special that we sitting here and you put all these cameras in our faces. It is. It's absolutely insane. It's a miracle. It's a fairy tale, however you want to see it.
In terms of mentality and starting the whole process here to become a special team was Borussia Dortmund home game. 4-3, and creating for me for the first time this real Anfield feeling. And funny situation I remember, so we scored 3-0, and Phil Coutinho was running over the pitch. Oh, calm down now and we control, and Millie told him, we need one more. Oh. Yeah, okay, then let's go, and we score one. And yeah, so this was, I believe, a big moment for this team, or for our history as well, for the first time doing something really exceptional, and create this belief that more things are possible. That's why, for me, this one is a really big one.
As a club, I loved the final against Chelsea because that was massive. And I keep remembering the Shrewsbury game at home where the under-23s on that time played. And you see how much of one club idea and one club mentality was present on these two moments.
What was not a goal was the last penalty of Kepa. When because I have a picture of Millie not celebrating the moment where everybody runs, because he was realizing I have to shoot again after Kepa. Again, like his second penalty. So that picture where he just like still focused, that says so much about that team, that he was already focusing again to go again there. And yeah, I felt Wembley, the fans the year before, ending with a penalty shootout where the game could have been 4-4. Wow, what a game of two teams who had so much quality. Chelsea had so much quality. I think that was...
This year's final was insane as well, no?
It's my favorite final. Yeah. Not my favorite trophy, but my favorite final.
The last one. Yeah, top. What we did with the young boys of the academy is just...
Definitely Barcelona, corner taken quickly, and Alisson Becker at West Brom. If I would have to decide, I would say the genius part goes to Trent and Divock. The heart goes to Ali on that day.
It was also an important moment. It was everything, no, the situation with
for him as well.
His dad and what happened.
Especially.
And then obviously it was really emotional with Ali after the game for sure. And it was like a feeling like, you know, his dad was with him at that moment as well. And, you know, that is really a hard situation if you like, but that was my feeling for sure. And
I have to add one goal, because I remember now how I felt when he scored it. It's Divock Origi Champions League final 2-0.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Before that, all the time when Son had the ball, I wanted to actually close my eyes. I was like, yeah. But then when he scored it, then even I could enjoy it. Performance-wise, there are so many. There's so many. Yeah. We had outstanding performances. Probably our supporters would love to hear that it's a United game, but actually that none of them came up. None of the wins came up. There were important games. Yes, Mo scores the goal. Ali follows him. That's a day when we all knew we'd probably win in the league.
That's probably one of the most impressive moments I had in the away stadium, was when Coutinho scored just before halftime in the Europa League.
Yeah, that's on the way into the dressing room.
How the stadium became, I never saw the silence. Oh, Old Trafford, that silence.
But they gave up in that moment, and we didn't think that, obviously, because they only had to score 2, right? Or then to turn around. So we just didn't, in a half-time, we were not like, oh, we have them, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, they come out and will now go, but the whole stadium...
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was so impressive.
There was a funny moment in the home game.
No, of course I believe. So, but it was good. We were 1-0 up, 2-0 up, I don't know. And we play a counter-attack 2 minutes before the end, I don't know. So we run towards goal, 1v1, Chris take against the goalkeeper, Johnny. Kill them now! And Louis van Gaal sitting there, turning around. Like that. And this moment, Christian Benteke over the goal. And I started laughing on the bench like crazy. Oh no! That was really, I remember that very good. Yeah.
fans, you know, even going on the road to Anfield, no,
Yeah.
when we had a big game, the passion of the people, you know, they screaming, "We're gonna win the league." The whole bus was red on one stage.
Yeah.
We couldn't see anything.
Nothing.
Inside.
Crazy. And that's true. The boss changed that a little bit. He got the connection with them and said, "You have to stay till the last minute. We're gonna beat games in the last minute." That's true.
Welcome. The power of Anfield is absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's just you have now only one English person here, so we cannot really put it in words. But everybody knows it. It's reality. It's what these people do when they believe. It's a real threat for the opponent. Like it's difficult to be at your best because you want them to become even louder or whatever. And it's for us. It means you don't feel pain. You don't feel tired. You don't feel anything. You're just in it. This moment when a game goes to that level, and the crowd responds to it, is the best feeling you can have. The people are special. They meet at Anfield, but it's the people are special, and we need to play a specific game. We cannot just meet and play the balls from left to right. So that must be a fit. But when that fits, when you as a team really show, okay, we understand in that moment, they back you like nobody else does.
I think the moments where the game really comes alive, I feel that time stands still. Feels like you're becoming like a monster, no? Like as a team, that nothing can stop you at that moment. But it always had something needed to switch. Always, it was always a moment. Would be a fight with the gaffer, with the other coach. Would be Trent as a right fullback being high, pressing. No, something needed to click always, or a chance, and straight after we create a chance again. But something in the fans where they feel like, okay, and now this is the moment where I felt always that it was us who created that.
In Arsenal game,
You know, the players, I mean.
It was never, I don't know what Trent thought at that moment, but with me it was on purpose. It was not like putting them up, it just was hanging up.
Robbo against City, he pressed one, he pressed the second, he pressed the third, he pressed the four as a fullback, and the whole stadium goes like, and on that moment it's like for 20 minutes. Or we score in a moment where where the team feels, okay, if the fans feel if we push now, they will do it. These moments.
But even sort of away from home, so like the League Cup final in Wembley this year, like you could not hear the Chelsea fans at all. You know, the Anfield crowd were transported down there, and it felt like a home game. It felt like it was our place. It's incredible. So the fans make a huge amount of difference, and there's not many teams like it, not many fans like it.
I have to say, because we talk about Anfield all the time, because the away fans, I always felt in the hardest moments when we really were suffering as a team, as a staff, as persons, individual, however, the away fans were always unbelievable.
That's why Wembley was so cool, because
Yeah.
they had, what was it, 45,000 or whatever? Yeah, it's absolutely.
Even when Barca, they put them like there, and we lose 3-0.
This is actually the feeling, probably really the best feeling, to really know what it means to the people. And in these moments, you obviously you literally can see it because you see their faces, but you can hear it. But like this Wembley thing, where everybody understood this is so special. My God, what's happening here? When Wirtz scored that goal, the feeling in that moment of all the people. I mean, what I really love after winning a final is then watching the people celebrating in their living room, how they go completely mad and stuff like. It's absolutely outside. I enjoy like nothing else before in my life. The whole time I learned so much. I learned what real togetherness can do. I think I even understood more, and I'm old enough and long enough in football to know what it means to people. But if you use the power of football in the right way, what it can do for the community, what it can do for, really for people who need help out there in the world. We have so many wonderful stories where this club shows real class. I'm so happy to having the opportunity to being part of that for such a long time, using that power. That's what we did, and channel it into a style of football. Was much better than I ever could have imagined. Just It's not about me telling people how they have to remember it. I enjoyed it. If they enjoyed it, great.
Brilliant.
Top.
Thank you very much, everyone.
You're welcome.
Pleasure.
We tapped a few things.
John, you stay. And now part 2, John Achterberg.